Ladies and gentlemen, you know who it is. It's the World Wrestling Podcast. Here today to discuss about AEW Dynamite, April 30th, 2025. I do apologize. Generally, in most cases, I do my reviews for AEW Dynamite on Wednesday nights and then cover boxing and MMA news on Thursdays, but I'm going to be putting all three of these videos uploaded on the channel today. Dynamite yesterday sucked. It had some good matches. The opener was good, but it was way too long for my liking. The main event with Adam Page versus Kyle Fletcher was really a good matchup. And the rest of it in between could have missed it and wouldn't have mattered. It really wasn't all that big of a deal. MJF looked like a fucking idiot, being denied once again by Bobby Lashley. Tony Khan continues to drag his feet with this fucking storyline. Like, just please, get to the motherfucking point already, would you? I'm over this shit. The opener of the match was the Young Bucks, Okada, and Ricochet against Mark Briscoe, Mike Bailey, Kenny Omega, and Kevin Knight. And the action was fun and entertaining for an 8-man tag team match. But at the end of the day, did it really get to any point? Not really. They kept hinting Kenny Omega and Okada having some sort of developing storyline going on within the tag team match, which is fine. That's probably the main reason why they did it. But let's be real. If it wasn't for Okada carrying around the Continental Championship, there wouldn't be nothing going on with Kenny Omega and Okada, honestly. I think that this company is absolute trash. I really did not like this episode last night, and I had other things I was trying to do that was more important than this garbage. So after the match, we go backstage. The Hurt Syndicate bump into local talent backstage chanting, "We hurt people," leading the trio to a blodge, attacking the men before having a chat about MJF, who we will hear from later on tonight. The group comes to a consensus before walking off, and we go to a commercial break. So once again, we come to the conclusion that Bobby Lashley is going to give a thumbs up, but he continues to give the thumbs down. Later on in the promo, after that, MJF was extremely pissed, called him a piece of shit, said he needed Rogaine for his bald head so he can have some hair on his head. And Bobby Lashley did not take liking to that, so he grabbed him by the collar and forced him into the corner and said, "You're going to make it into this group if you hurt people. That's what we do." And me personally, I'm just like over this. Like, please, MJF, just screw them over in their tag team title match with FTR. FTR is probably going to get a World Tag Team title shot at Double or Nothing. I hope that they do, and I hope that MJF burns the Hurt Syndicate, destroys MVP. I hope he beats the shit out of MVP. This is the guy that's supposed to be the so-called quote-unquote leader of the Hurt Syndicate. He should be the one making the final decisions on who's in and who's out. Keeps telling Bobby Lashley for the last 2 to 3 weeks, look, if we have any issues, if the guy fucks us over, we will hurt him. It's that simple. And Bobby Lashley continues to give him a thumbs down, even with everything he's given this man. Wasting his time. when he could have spent his time in the tournament trying to go after the title on his own. And he could have cheated, done all of his special things he could have done to be able to get ahead in the matches he had and walk away the winner of the tournament. Instead, he's involved with this nonsense. I think this is the absolute worst year MJF has ever had in this company. I think he's booked incorrectly, 100%. Every turn they make, they're making him look like a fucking idiot. I don't understand. And he's their number one. He's the guy that is the face of AEW. But they continue to want to push the narrative that Ospreay is the guy, the face of AEW. I am hoping, and Adam Page won his match against Kyle Fletcher. I hope Adam Page ends up winning the finals, but I'm leaning towards, head-wise, I'm leaning towards Will Ospreay to win the match. I stated Will Ospreay was going to win the fucking tournament, and I still believe that's going to be the case regardless of the situation. I think TK is so wasted out that he'd have MJF go out of his way to fuck Adam Page out of a match so that he can't get a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship at All In. That's what I think is going to happen. FTR is not going to win. I think the idea is MJF fucks over the Hurt Syndicate right out of the gate before he can ever get into the fucking Hurt Syndicate, because he's never going to. Have him fuck them over, help FTR win the tag team titles, and bring back the Pinnacle. I've been saying this since the FTR turned heel. I have been saying this. MJF's looking for a team to help him win a championship. He can also help FTR be champions. They can be champions together as a trio group with Stokely Hathaway as their manager. I think that would be fantastic. I think that would work out great. It works. Let's face facts. The Hurt Syndicate aren't heels. They are loved by the fans. You're having the Hurt Syndicate facing heels. Legitimate heels. FTR are legitimate heels. They've attacked elderly people. They've attacked legends. They have beaten up Adam Copeland. They have done it all to earn the right to be called heels. Hurt Syndicate, what have they done? They've won matches clean. They've beaten every opponent they face, fair and square, and they're beloved by the fans. And do they come out and say derogatory things towards the audience? No. They blend with the fans. They are baby faces. I don't give a fuck what anyone tells me. Okay, they beat up a couple of fucking weirdos standing in the backstage area saying we like to hurt people. So they beat the shit out of them. I just don't get it. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But, hey, you want to make MJF look like an idiot, you're doing a fucking well job. Doing a swell job on that. The Ops, Will Hobbs, Samoa Joe, and Shibata go up against Nick Camarado, Reet Titus, and Miles Hawkins. In a quick matchup that they win. Then we get a reminder that Samoa Joe challenges Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship, not that it really matters, at Dynamite Beach Break. And speaking of, he and the Death Riders blindsided the Ops in the ring. The fight leads to Joe bringing Mox up the ramp, starting to lock in the Kikuya clutch before Claudio sets Shibata up with a neutralizer onto the chair in the ring. Joe rushes into the ring as the Death Riders escape through the crowd before Joe grabs a microphone to run down the champion and his crew. He says that Mox claims he wants Joe one-on-one, but it seems he doesn't really want, so let's give John and the people what they really want. If Joe is gonna fight Mox for the world title, let's do it inside a steel cage. This gets a pop from the crowd, who chants Joe's name as he says he will be the next AEW World Heavyweight Champion. His music hits as Joe and Hobbs check on Shibata while commentary hypes the finals of the Women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament between Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter. With that, we cut away to a sit-down interview with CEO herself, Mercedes Moné. As she talks about her match at Double or Nothing, as well as the title she currently holds, she says that despite the name of the tournament, this is not about the Hearts, it's about her. Renee talks about Hayter's advantages going into the match, but Mercedes points to her undefeated record as proof she can handle the challenge ahead of her. Every time she steps into the ring, she changes the game. Jamie reminds Moné a lot of her, except for the goofy look. With that, we wrap up the interview and go to a commercial break. So, Mercedes Moné, Jamie Hayter. Who am I picking to win that match? Well, easily, it's easy to say that's going to be Mercedes Moné. So do I really care to watch this fucking match? Fuck no. I'm really wondering what the main event of Double or Nothing is going to be. I keep hinting the idea of a blood and guts match as the main event. Who the fuck knows? But to be quite frank with you, do I care? No. Am I even going to watch this event live? I don't even know. I may not. I may not even review the fucking event for all I know. I'll let you guys know as we get closer to it. I have almost a whole month before that happens, so I'll be able to make a decision on that. But to be quite frank with you, if I don't review it, I ain't watching it. Ain't no fucking way I'm sitting down for 4+ hours watching this shit and not review it. So if I'm not reviewing it, I'm not even wasting my time. Because quite frankly, if I did not have this channel, if I was not producing the kind of numbers I'm producing every single week, I got a new subscriber. I'm not hitting like multiple of people at a time per week getting subscribers, but I am progressing each and every single week very slowly. But even with that, it's still progress, it's still something. So I'm going to continue to do these reviews. But I am warning you guys, if Jon Moxley, after All In, does not lose that World Heavyweight Championship, I am not watching this fucking product anymore to review. I will not produce another fucking review for this damn promotion. This promotion is absolute shit. I had shit I had to do yesterday. I did not get to sit down and watch this shit until 8:45 p.m. So I was 45 minutes behind. HBO Max does not allow you to skip through commercials, so I had to sit there till almost 11 o'clock at night and watching this fucking event. By the time I got done, I just wanted to go chill and play some video games and go to sleep so I could start work the next day. That is what I did. So that's the reason why this review is being done late. But at the end of the day, I'm not impressed with AEW. I'm not impressed with what they're producing. I'm not happy with what they're doing. There's nothing going on. There's no excitement. There's no nothing. There's no storyline progressions that are major or important. I mean, shit, even the mid-card stories in WWE since after WrestleMania have been more important than this shit. I have more excitement towards a fucking Gunther versus Pat McAfee match because there's more story that's going to come out of that than anything that this fucking promotion is producing for its most important storyline on the entire product. That is sad. That is truly fucking sad. I mean, look at fucking Backlash, man. You got matches that seem to be important, or if anything, are going to be exciting as hell to watch. I am fucking stoked for Jey Uso versus Logan Paul. I think that match is going to be fun as hell. John Cena, Randy Orton, there's potential of creating a good story out of that. Match quality wise, not so much. I think John Cena has downgraded in wrestling, either deliberately or physically. He just can't do it the way he used to. It's probably one of those two things or both. But there is a lot more going on in WWE since WrestleMania has ended than what AEW is providing us. This is pathetic. They are clearly doing what Triple H and The Rock did. They're cashing out. They're not caring. None of that shit. Triple H is now back on the rails again, doing what he needs to do. He's got his show back on track, I should say. Doing what he needs to do to keep every segment meaningful or somewhat important and giving us a reason to want to keep our attention span going with this shit. AEW is providing none of that. Here's a storyline that I'm actually enjoying, which is kind of funny. It's with Nick Wayne and Christian Cage. I'm trying to figure out where the direction this is going. I'm more than certain it's leading to Nick Wayne and Christian Cage bumping heads with each other eventually, and leading to the point where Christian Cage leaves or is pushed out of the patriarchy and is no longer the leader of the patriarchy after All In. I don't think we're getting an Adam Copeland Christian Cage match at All In. Or I mean them tagging together at All In. I think that's being held up for a little bit. Because I think Christian Cage is going to be betrayed by Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne is going to do something dastardly to Christian Cage, which will build a match towards All In, and then Adam Copeland's going to come into the picture and join forces with Christian Cage, and we will see Edge and Christian back together again as a tag team, and then probably at Forbidden Door see something really entertaining or exciting from them going up against another tag team from another promotion. That's what I think might happen. I might be wrong about that. I don't know. But I think Nick Wayne, Christian Cage at All In a one-on-one match, Nick Wayne going over on Christian Cage, would be a fantastic idea. You want to get this kid over? Do that. Beat the living shit out of Christian Cage. Make him do something evil, rotten, scummy. Betray his father. Kick him to the fucking curb and tell him to go hit the bricks. In the most rottenest of ways. That's what I do. But anyway, let's get to what happened. Nick Wayne is asked about representing the patriarchy in AEW in the upcoming Best of the Super Juniors tournament in New Japan. Christian Cage insists all questions should be asked of him, but is interrupted by Jay Lethal wanting to see if the champ is ready to prove himself by defending the title tonight against the longest reigning Ring of Honor television champion. Wayne tries to hem and haw about it, basically saying, well, I'm not really ready for this match. I haven't gotten prepared, blah, blah, blah. And before that he can finish what he was trying to say, Cage accepts it on his behalf. This garners a sour look from Wayne as Jay wishes him luck before walking off. Not like the match was all that big of a deal, because the match didn't even last but maybe 5 minutes. And, of course, Nick Wayne retained his television title for Ring of Honor. Back at ringside, Timeless Toni Storm makes her way out to the ring for her AEW Women's Title Eliminator. Toni Storm went against Mayu Yamashita. I have no fucking idea who this bitch is. And nor do I care. What the fuck do I give a shit? Toni Storm wins again. She is undefeated in title eliminators. Not one person has beaten her in all 4 reigns of her title reigns as Women's World Champion. Has anyone beaten her? Great. Why are we getting title eliminators? Why do they even exist? This woman should be getting a fucking title opportunity. She's facing the champion. I haven't seen this broad ever on fucking television. What the hell do I care? So after the match, no time for celebration as Mercedes Moné steps onto the stage promising that after she wins the Owen Hart Cup tournament, she will come after what she believes is hers, the AEW Women's World title. This draws out Jamie Hayter, who lays out 4-belt Mercedes Moné before staring down Storm from the ramp, which is the match that I think we all should be hoping for that takes place because there's a story there. Mercedes Moné is just getting another championship on the old belt. That's pretty much it. I don't know. I don't care for this shit. This company is just dog shit. There's some good things about it. I'm not going to deny them there's positive things on here, but most of it's negative. And the negatives aren't even all that major. It's just there's nothing here for me to care to want to watch the fucking show. That's the problem. You have moments where you insult your fucking intelligence, you drag stories out. They're fucking annoying. Just get to the motherfucking point. So we cut backstage where Don Callis talks about making history before focusing on Kyle Fletcher's match tonight against Hangman Adam Page. Fletcher looks to take out Page tonight before beating Will Ospreay at Double or Nothing to make him say his full name, which Don Callis reminds us is the proto-star Kyle Fletcher. And he looks like he's fucking having a heart attack and a vein popping out of his freaking skull. Next we go ahead and we get into the MJF Hurt Syndicate promo in the ring situation. I've already covered the majority. I gave you guys the basis of the whole fucking thing. I'm not going to reiterate it. I mean, who cares? Honestly, who the fuck cares? MJF really needs to move on. And I think FTR is the pathway of moving on past the Hurt Syndicate. Video package of Stokely Hathaway talks about FTR looking to cement their legacy and win back their AEW World Tag Team titles. Great. Nick Wayne goes up against Jay Lethal for the Ring of Honor Television Championship, which he successfully defends against Jay Lethal in a very short match. Cage enters the ring afterwards alongside with the Patriarchy looking at the belt for a moment before putting it around the champion's waist for a round of applause from the group, who leave the ring to allow Wayne to celebrate the title defense further. Commentary confirms that the AEW World Championship match will be contested inside of a steel cage, where Jon Moxley faces Samoa Joe. Great. Video package for Double or Nothing leads to commentary talking about the finals of the men's and Owen Hart tournament for the pay-per-view. And with that, we head to the main event, which is Adam Page and Kyle Fletcher. Main event, again, like I said, excellent matchup, entertaining shit. Everything you can look for in a match to give you that good feeling of a pay-per-view quality matchup. That's what we got here. This match would have been really good on a mid-card portion of a pay-per-view. I think it would have worked out very well. And they were the main event, and they killed it. They did everything they needed to do to get this match over and entertain the audience for about 15 to almost 30 minutes. And it was a successful main event match. But the rest of the show, you could have dumped it. Like, nobody, I don't think anyone gave a fuck. I sure as hell did. So, that's just my attitude. I'm sticking to it. So at this time, guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching. And have a great night, guys. Bye.